Welcome back. This is chapter 4 from the diary of Anne Frank, written by Anne Frank. And now I'm going to explain page number 50 to you. So here we go. Writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me. The author says that writing a diary, maintaining a diary is a really unique kind of experience for her. Not only because I've never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old schoolgirl, and she speaks these things on two accounts. She has 2 points to believe so. First is, since it was her first writing, it was her first adventure in this direction, and secondly, since she was not mature, she was just a teen at that time, so people would not be interested in reading the steps of a 13-year-old schoolgirl, because people believe that a teen cannot do any kind of serious writing. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I feel like writing, and I have an even greater need to get all kinds of things off my chest. But she says, well, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter because I feel like writing. I have an urge to write from inside, so I must write, and she must also write because there is a need for her to get certain things off her heart, and so she must start writing. So it was a compulsion for her as well. Paper has more patience than people. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in my hands, bored and listless, wondering whether to stay in or go out. Okay, so one of those days, I wonder, she was feeling dejected, she was upset, and she was sitting in her room with her chin in her hand and just wondering, just thinking whether to stay in or to go out and play outside. So she was just between two thoughts. Say there was a dilemma in her mind what to do, and then she thought of the books. She thought of a popular saying which said, paper has more patience than people. That is, books have more patience than we human beings have, because they never complain, they never say, or they never say appeal other people around to carry them away to a different place, since they have been there for a long time. So they have more patience. I finally stayed where I was brooding. Yes, paper does have more patience. And finally she decided to stay back there at her place, only brooding, thinking, contemplating the idea that yes, paper indeed have more patience. Books indeed have more patience. And since that is, they can remain at a place unruffled, undisturbed, untouched, and they never complain. So, and since I'm not planning to let anyone else read this stiff-backed notebook, grandly referred to as diary, and since she was not planning, she was not having any kind of intention to let anyone else touch her stiff-backed, hardcover notebook, grandly referred to as diary, which she calls diary, unless I should ever find a real friend. So she has no intention to allow anyone else to touch her a notebook, which she called diary, since, or say, unless she found a real friend. It probably won't make a bit of difference, and it won't make a difference whether she found a real friend or not. If she found a real friend, only then the pages of the diary would be turned, otherwise it would remain unruffled, undisturbed, untouched. Now, I'm back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary in the first place. I don't have a friend. So now she comes back to the main point. That is why she was prompted, or what encouraged her to keep a diary in the very first instance. I do not have a friend, and that particular point is that she doesn't have a friend. She is not having a friend, and that's why she has to share her feelings, her thoughts, her ideas to this diary. And one that you are able to share your thoughts and ideas to is your true friend, and she considers this diary a true friend. Let me put it more clearly. Since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world, I guess so she says that let me make it more clear to everyone, because if I say that I don't have a friend, people will not believe it. The world will not believe that a 13-year-old girl, a teen, is without her friends. No one is going to believe. And I'm not. And it's not the case that she's not having a friend. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister. She says that, well, she has parents, she has a 16-year-old sister, and there are about 30 people I can call friends, and there are about 30 people about her whom she can easily call friends. I have a family, loving aunts, and a good home. She has everything. She has a family, loving aunts, and a good home. She has everything in her life. No, on the surface, I seem to have everything. No, but no, you are not. You haven't got all the facts clear. On the surface, I seem to have everything. On the surface, on the ground, it seems that yes, the author is having everything except my one true friend, but she is missing that one true friend. All I think about when I'm with friends is having a good time. I can bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary everyday things. So he has says that, well, when I'm with the friends, I can think only of having good time. That is, with friends, you're always very happy, always very excited. You have the best time with your friends only. I cannot bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary everyday things. And here she cannot discuss anything. She cannot share her feelings, her emotions with her friends, but only say a day-to-day, everyday things. She can only discuss only day-to-day or everyday, ordinary things. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. And they cannot get any closer. They cannot open their hearts. They cannot discuss their feelings, their emotions, and that's the problem. Maybe it's my fault that we don't confide in each other, and maybe she says that she blames herself. She says that maybe it's my fault only that I cannot, or we cannot confide in each other. We cannot share our secrets, our emotions, and all. In any case, that's just how things are, and unfortunately, they are not liable to change. And she says that, well, in any case, that's just how things are. That's how the things are, and unfortunately, they are not liable to change, and unfortunately, they are not going to change in any way. This is why I started the diary, and that's why she started writing a diary. To enhance the image of this long awaited friend in my imagination, to enrich the image, to improve the image of this long awaited friend in her imagination, or to improve the image of this friend of her in her imagination. I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary. She doesn't want to put down the facts in the diary the way most people would do. Most people just put down the facts in the diary. But she says that she was not going to do in that way. But I want the diary to be my friend, and I am going to call this friend Kitty. And she says that, no, I'm not going to put facts in this diary, but it's going to be my friend, and say my friend, of course, the best friend, say, and I'm going to call this friend Kitty, and she is going to call this friend Kitty. She named this friend, this diary, Kitty, and she says that she would share her emotions, her feelings, and she will not only put down the facts. So this is all for now. Thank you.